Hello, YubTub. Welcome back to Crash Course, where I play Crash and I talk trash, meaning whatever comes in my mouth. Just finding something that will rhyme. Since the last episode, I talked about the history of video games that I've experienced, so then why not talk about what I've posted on my channel the most, which is Yugioh Master Duel. And I love Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a kid. Played with my friends because they have Yu-Gi-Oh! They got me into it. Johnny and Matthew, shout out to you guys. Thank you. There's a lot of stuff I learned from my childhood because of you guys. And I did love playing with paper, but the problem is it's always about convenience. That's why I love playing Master Duel, because it's always convenient. I could just play on my phone. It started out with the Switch until it finally came to iOS. So then after that, I've been playing daily. Not every day. Try to. There's just sometimes life happens and there's nothing you can do about it. But anyways, I'm mostly going to be talking about Master Duel, not the TCG. And not the OCG, because I'm American. So that's not going to happen. But I just want to ramble about it and give you an idea for like how I go through Master Duel, why I'm not bored of it, despite of all the meta that's gone throughout. Which it's like it's better and it's worse, but I just do it for the love of the game. For me, it's very simple. I'm a guy that likes variety. So that's why I play with like multiple decks. I can't just, play with one deck for, the rest of the season. I will do it for the DC Cup because trying to get all the gems and whatnot. And plus, Blue Eyes is just my favorite deck, so why the hell not? And I'll talk about the meta later. But let's just talk about how it started. Where I'm the Yugi Boomer, so I started with the Blue Eyes deck. I started with the Dark Magician, in Red Eyes, and then all the way to the Egyptian Gods. I even had a Pegasus deck, and really it was just, playing from what I've known, because before I played Yugioh Master Duel, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Generations. Because I tried Duel Links, it wasn't for me. Well, mainly because there was no way for me to get cards that I want. It was very difficult. There was no easy way at that time, or unless I didn't know how to. While Yu-Gi-Oh! Generations just plain and simple. And basically, I got introduced to the Pendulum era, which was, oh my goodness, way worse. Way, way worse. Thank God it's nerfed now. But I really didn't get into the Link era yet, which that's what Master Duel taught me. But it had a really nice campaign where it just works well just to play offline, which Master Duel you need to do because the solo mode is not cutting out. They almost had it with the special deck challenge, but they could have done so much more. But I'll get into that later. But anyways, when I started playing Master Duel, I got introduced to Link Summoning, and at first it sounded complicated, but obviously once you start playing, you start seeing, oh, it's really that easy. I mean, it gets complicated with the combos and how to start and what to do, but seeing that Link Summoning is just, you don't have to do anything, you just get the right material on the field, and just bam, it's ready. I was like, oh, because I'm used to having at least 2 monsters on the field to either XC summon or Synchro summon. So the best thing that I was doing was Link summoning to Link Karibo. But the deck that got me to understand Link summoning was actually Live Twins, Evil Twins. Because I remember I liked seeing it wasn't OP, it wasn't, annoying. Like, yeah, you could say it was destructive, but it was fine for what it was. It was a great start, but the meta was not as fine as it was. But the great thing about Master Duel is you play different decks. You're not stuck seeing the same ones every duel. But throughout the Master Duel tenure, there's a lot of positives, but there are some negatives, and I will get to some, which one of my main things is mainly the community. Because I always complain about the meta this, meta that, and I understand I was one of them too, but you just come to realize that if you just play those decks and see how fun it is, then you wouldn't be complaining as much. There were some decks that I was on the fence of trying, but then I tried it and I liked them. Sadly, I start liking them at the end of the meta when they start getting hit by the ban list, which was Snake Eyes, Yubel, shoot, even Dragon Link. I remember my friend Johnny was always telling me to use Dragon Link because I always liked playing with Dragon decks. And I just didn't think it resonated with me. But then I decided to, and oh yeah, it was so much fun. Like, you could tell I'm more of a combo guy than a control guy. Or even maybe even mid-range, I would say more. But I'm becoming more of a combo guy than a control guy because mostly the control decks have degenerate cards. Like, just face it. Even though, yes, I do play Labyrinth, I play fair Labyrinth. Because I don't do the floodgate kind. Because I'm the type of guy that likes interaction. Because what gets more annoying than anything else while playing Master Duel is whether you won the coin toss or you break their board that they took 20 minutes to make and then they automatically quit. That's what I don't like because, you know, I came to play the game. Like, for me, it's just all about interaction. Like, yes, winning does feel good, but it doesn't feel good if you just played one card and they just quit. Like, did I even play? Now, I'm just trying to keep myself from talking about floodgates yet because I'm trying to stay on topic because, oh yeah, we'll get into that. But here's why I just get really annoyed about people complaining about the meta. Because when the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck was, you know, meta, which, you know, I've waited so long for it to happen. Yeah, people trashed on it. Was like, why? Like, is it a good deck? Yes. Obviously, you do get tired of seeing it. But once again, it's a Blue Eyes deck. It loses to Ash. It's almost like Branded. Which, now that one was a different story. Although, I don't entirely hate it. That once again falls in line with the Floodgate. But we'll get to that later. But Blue Eyes was, you could say, a fair top tier. Because of one thing. If you maxi a Blue Eyes deck, or even Full Stem, you're pretty much gonna get either 0 to maybe 2 draws just to get more disruption. There have been times where I've been maxied and I couldn't go full combo, but I was able to have enough disruptions and only give him at most 1 card. To me, that's why the Blue Eyes was the top tier, because most decks, they get maxied, then they have to keep on going and make their opponent draw more cards in order to have a chance. Well, with Blue Eyes, not so much. And yet people still complain about it. And then, elephant in the room, I love Malice. I was waiting for Malice. I would have preferred the OCG translation because the upside down A looks nice. But basically, because, you know, it's Alice in Wonderland. And in virus form too, so that's why I was waiting for it, and it is a fun deck if you get to play it. Malice combos doesn't really take too long. However, now it does because of the Ignister cards. And now it needs it because of all the banned cards, which I will get into the reason why. It's because people always complain, Mana's too strong, Mana's too strong. And, you know, we went through the Snake Eyes era, and I felt that was worse. Because with Malice, there's really no negates. It's just disruption. So you can still technically play the game like we all told ourselves when Branded came out. Or Branded Fusion, to be exact. But to me, I think people just hated it because of the success it had. When, to me, I don't think it was toxic. I believe it was a lot of fun. And I'm not just talking about playing it, I'm also talking about playing against it. Some of you are like, oh, you're a meta sheep, of course you like it. It's like, no, I like it fighting against it too, because there's interaction. It's not like they have cards that will do negate, negate, negate. Like now with the Ignister, there's one negate. But it's just disruption after disruption, but there are cards that could handle that. I went second against a Mass player with 0 hand traps, no interruptions whatsoever, and with my Zombie World deck, and I was able to win in the end. And it went to several turns, and he just ran out of resources because he didn't have, you know, cards of negate, 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 although he had like infinite impermanence. But I was able to survive in the end thanks to SP Little Knight stopping him from attacking directly. And it was a fun duel. And it's not the only time I had fun playing against Malice. And I know I got hit with consistency hits and did not like that Red Ransom got hit. But you know what? Better Red Ransom than White Binder to get hit, because that I think will kill the deck. And that's one thing I love about Master Duel, is that they don't kill decks. There's a lot of decks that are still strong, just either not as reliable, or you could say maybe power crept, or it's just people just like shiny new toys. The one that I didn't like was Yugioh. I even played Yugioh. I tried it. It was, I mean, yeah, it was a strong deck, but it didn't resonate with me well. And I just don't like it because, yes, Daynator was a good card, but just popping cards straight up was one thing. But then to have, what was it, Yugioh Cross to negate anything you want to negate, like you can't chain block it. That's where I'm like, oh, okay, that's where I kind of draw the line with that. It's just stupid stuff like that. Which is also why I don't mind Baguska getting banned. I like Baguska because it helped in certain of my decks that just needed something if there was not much I can do. But it needed to be banned because of how strong Yugioh is now, especially with Mr. Rugi. It's like, I don't think so. What I'm just saying is there's just certain decks that doesn't deserve the hate, even if it's meta. And a deck should be hated just because it's meta. And like you say, you hate it because it's strong. Like, well, yeah, it's always going to happen like that. Like, if you're a casual, I would say you probably shouldn't talk too much about it because you're a casual. Your deck probably sucks. It's probably, you know, boomer deck or something like that, which I get it. And I pretty much changed with the meta because there were so many decks that I like to play that I just can't play anymore, because it doesn't matter what deck you play against. You're just going to lose because the meta has changed where you just need stronger decks now. And there's certain ones that could survive, that can change with the times. You know, kind of like Dark Magician. I still play it. You know, Red Eyes. I pretty much just play with the Red Eyes Metal Max. I'll just count that as Red Eyes for me. But there's so many decks I just dismantled because there's no way I'm going to win anything with them. Like the Karibo deck was fun, but what can I do turn 1? And that's what I based it on, is how strong is your deck turn 1. Like if you had turn 1, no interruptions, you got to go fully, and you have all the cards you need, what can it do? That's how I judge decks pretty much. So if you see you're losing no matter who wins the coin toss, well, it's time to ODLer it. And it's Yugioh Master Duel. There's a plethora of decks that you can play. Shoot, I had streaks with Plunder Patrol, For Hire, Exodia, well, Millennium, and shoot, even Marincess. And I've seen people try to cook with different engines, especially now with the Dracotel, with different engines on their pet decks. And you know what, props to them. Like, that's the way to keep on having fun, then that's great. But to just poo-poo, you know, on the meta and everything just because, you know, deck is strong, my deck can't do anything, then to me, that's just poor. I will say that if you play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're tired of playing against the same deck, then don't play as much. Just have a set amount of duels or time that you want to play. Like for me, I play until I get all my missions. And sometimes that takes 1 duel, sometimes it takes 15. I'm fine with that. Although there are some things that Master Duel does that just pisses me off, but I'll get to it later. And the other issue is people just complain, and the problem is they don't have a solution. They just think one thing and it will solve everything, but we know how Konami is, we know how Yu-Gi-Oh is. It is more into just one issue. Like, solving one thing, it's not gonna fix Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, it's not. Now I have a few things that I believe that will help fix it, which is one, ban all lingering floodgates. And that's what I mean, the lingering floodgates. Like Droll, Maxi, they have to get banned. I don't know why Maxi is still there. We got the Molcharmies. They are fine because they're good for people going second. Like basically people who don't set up a board, who don't set up anything. Just Maxi is the issue. I used to be a Maxi defender when I first started because I needed Maxi. But now as I've gone stronger as a duelist, I've seen that Maxi is doing more damage to me than it helping me. And it sometimes doesn't even feel good to even win because of Maxi. Well, sometimes, depending on the deck I'm going against. But yeah, just basically anything that lingers. That's what should be getting rid of. Now, as for those continuous trap cards that are floodgates, to me, that's fine. Because, yeah, it does deal with, draw the out. Other than anti-spell, fragrance, and imperial order. Like those needs to be done because most of the outs is probably through that. And also, it just kills a pendulum deck right then and there. Which, I know as much as people hate pendulums, and I just play one deck that's a pendulum. But like, yeah, that's just stupid. And the other ones are the monsters that don't make you special summon. Like, at all. Like whether it's Fossil Dino or even the barrier statues. Like those should go completely. And I know when I talked about branded of what they do, those type of monsters that said when summoned you cannot special summon any monsters other than their archetype, when mostly people who give you that aren't using that archetype. I feel all of them should be retrained into the ones like Marincess, where if you use a certain effect that you can't special summon any other monsters other than water monsters. Like that, not just because it's summoned you can't do this. It should be if you use their effect, then you can't use this. To me, I think that's more fair. That way, you're not banning important cards from another archetype, but also you're getting rid of all the floodgates that makes it uninteractable. Because, once again, like I said, I like to interact, I like to play, but some people just take winning way too hard that their point is to not make the opponent play. Which, to me, I still think that's stupid. Like, the whole point of playing cards is going back and forth. That's what people remember back in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is people go back and forth. It's not about, oh, life was easier back then. It's like, no, just you interacted more. Well, not more in the turn, but you have more turns to do it anyways. That's why, as much as I hate to admit it, one of the best metas was the tournament meta, because there was just so much interaction, which was the only time I was happy having Maxi, because it was the only way I could combat it, because yeah, that deck was way too strong for the other decks I was using. Another one is like Genesis. Just get rid of the FTKs. And speaking of tournament, I was talking more about those type of decks that dump everything on the graveyard to get rollback, to copy a trap card that will make you not play, or just make you lose 8,000 right when it's your turn. Basically, just get rid of every card that would stop making games interactable. I think that's basically it. And as for new decks, don't make it just negate heavy. Like, it could probably have one negate, maybe two, depending on how much it does. But mainly just one negate and just, good amount of disruption. Obviously, it has to be strong, but, just to be fair and, like, once again, just to be interactable. You know, like it's not just you playing. It's fun when your opponent plays too with you, not just him by himself, not just you by yourself. Because it sucks too. You know, you'll do your combo, and then when it's their turn, they just leave, and that doesn't feel good as well. I mean, it feels better than the other way around, but by then you're just playing solitaire. And even the other way, where you know they take forever on their turn, you just put Dark Ruler no more, and then they just quit, and it's like, I didn't even get to play it. I waited for you. Why couldn't you wait for me? And just to give you an idea, I will tell you my 5 most hated decks. Runic used to be one, but it's not exactly Runic. It's Runic Stun. So Stun is my 5th most hated deck. Once again, it's just not interactive. It's not fun. I know they try to make it like, you know, beginner friendly, but it's just not fun. Plain simple. The other is Fluorn Doriz. It's just so boring. And the one more messed up thing is you can't max C them, but they can max C you. And also that floodgate that of a bird that they have. And that stupid trap card that just makes them do the same old combo against you in your turn. And it just takes forever for them to get to the point. The other one is Pearly. It's just that tower and basically just any other quick play spell cards, just 1-card combo. Having a tower that is unaffected and to draw multiple cards to be more annoying. And then when you even get rid of it, then they get more cards in their hand to be more annoying the next turn for a possible OTK, or just to plain simply have recursion for the next turn to do it all over again. Oh, and also to not be able to be targeted as well. Speaking of untargetable, Mekanko's the other one, where it makes all of them untargetable, indestructible, and it's pretty much the don't quit hitting yourself deck. And lastly, the one I hate the most is Drytron, mainly because of Herald of Ultimateness. Because it's pretty much just negate, 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 like never ending. And you know that all stemmed back in the beginning of Master Duel when that was the best deck. Because you waited forever for the combo to finish, and when it's your turn, there's pretty much nothing you can do because he was just negate like crazy. And when you think it's over, he drops Eva and gets more cards. And like the only way you could win is pretty much through Max C or a Kaiju. Pretty much it's just degenerate decks that don't make you interact or punish you just for breaking their board. And lastly, one negative thing about Master Duel I have to say is their solo mode. Because once again, I said I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Generations, and what they had was pretty much a campaign mode where you would go through all of the Duelist Kingdom era, then the Battle City era, and then the GX, 5Ds, and so on and so forth. Like, that would be great to fight, you know, multiple characters going through. And like, yeah, obviously if you play with your meta deck, it should be easy. But, you know, it'd be fun to see how it is with them and the loner decks that they'll give. Like, that will be fun. They almost did it with the challenge, because that's kind of what they did. But to just have more of that. Like, they did the GX era. They should just keep on going. But what I love about Master Duel, other than the convenience, is, like, once again, there's a lot of decks you can play with that's so strong. Like, I played Yubel, which, you know, I'm thinking, why isn't Yubel more prevalent? It's still a very good deck. But I understand, you know, shiny new toy, and it is stronger. But it doesn't make Yubel just any worse. Blue Eyes is still good. And just hopefully we get the new support for Dark Magician soon. Because that one looks like maybe it would make a difference. Oh yeah, almost forgot one more thing that Master Duel needs to fix. They need to get rid of the coin system, or at least give us more options. Like, they should, at the beginning, have you choose 3 different options. Either rock, paper, scissors, a die roll, or a coin toss. So basically, both you and your opponent should be able to pick. And if both of you pick rock, paper, scissors, then it will be rock, paper, scissors. And obviously with the other 2 as well. But if you pick rock, paper, scissors, and the other one picks dice roll, then it's going to go to a coin toss. Leaving it up to chance just gets so annoying at times. because at the time of this recording, I'm doing the Duelist Cup. I had 16 duels, and I believe only 4 or 5 times, I won the coin toss out of 16. So far, I only have 3 losses, and all of those came going second. I know a dice roll is a chance too, but it's more than just 50-50. And rock, paper, scissors is just your choice. But, I know it's not going to happen with the new coins that they've been giving. But that would be one way they could fix it. And I know I'm going to be beating the same drum just as everybody else. But it's just so obvious. I don't know why they don't do it. But have us be able to play different formats. Not just for 3 days, but for a different rank system. Maybe not rank, but something kind of like casual. Just something. Now, me personally, one thing I would really like is to have a tag match. And no, not the ones that they have with 3-on-3. No, meaning just 4 people at the same time. Like with Yugi and Kaiba back in Battle City, where they tag team against the guys with the masks. Now, I know with the new meta, which is Drake Hotel, I only faced it once and really didn't have a good hand to start with, so I couldn't see how strong and resilient it was. But I've seen the DK tournaments of it, and yeah, it looks overwhelming at times. But I just need to get used to it, playing against it. And of course, to wait for the next ones. Although, yeah, I know Yummy is really good. The one I'm really looking forward is the new Vanquish Soul cards. Because, yeah, Vanquish Soul needs help. That's why I'm still playing with it, because I know the new Vanquish Soul card is going to come in soon. And then the K9, see how the new engine is. And just to be a little bit more positive, I would say my top 5 favorite decks to play right now is obviously you can hear Blue Eyes, Malice, Sprite Twin, Centurion, and lastly, Sky Striker. Like with the new support, it just makes it so much fun. Because that deck is pretty much if you go first, survive, and if you go second, destroy. I just like that it just makes you think, and it's just all it is just a toolbox for you to use. You pretty much work with what you have, and you use all the tools you have in your disposal that can help you destroy your opponent's board and possibly win. Or if not, just destroy it, stop them the next turn, and then win the next turn. And they all have something in common: interaction. And if you didn't notice, 3 out of the 5 are very good against Maxi or Full Loss. And I know that Sky Striker is the only one that's a control deck. Although there are times where Blue Eyes does feel like a control deck too, depending on the situation. And that's why I love playing with Blue Eyes, because with the limited space of the extra deck, I can't just willy-nilly synchro summon whatever I want. I'm very limited with that, so I just can be very careful, and whatever the situation calls for, I just have to go for it. The time of this recording is during the DC Cup, as you already know. I know that it's great to have the full combo, to have the strong synchros, to just negate, and then have the pops and all that. But also love the times where I'm just trying to break their board and trying to set up mine, and just depending on what it calls for, each duel just feels different every time. It's not the same thing that I'm doing every duel. It's all different depending on the situation. I was torn between playing with Blue Eyes or playing with Sky Striker, but I leaned towards Blue Eyes. What led me to that decision was because of the missions that said Ritual, Synchro, and Xyz. And yeah, with my Sky Striker deck, there is none of that. It's only links. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hearing me ramble. And I guess you could just tell me what was your favorite thing about Master Duel. Unless it's just the same as convenience. But I guess other than that, what's like your top 5 favorite decks? What is your pet deck? Like, what do you try to do to make it better? What engine do you use? Just anything about that. Now, there is still more gameplay, so I'll just leave on to the rest to pass Marco. Okay, now I don't have to worry about doing all that again. After if I die. Alright, let's do this again. Okay. Alright, let's go. Cortex. Well, it is in the Cortex level without having so many freaking TNTs. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Oh my goodness, this again. And of course, me playing a platform game, complaining about platforming. Well, at least that was super easy. You gotta be freaking kidding me. I jumped. Oh my goodness. That was so stupid. Okay, now it worked. And I spoke too soon. My goodness, I'm gonna end this loop. Okay. That was so stupid, but it's fine. It's fine. Now it's not fine. I'm pissed. Shouldn't even be here again. And I'm stuck here again. I'm stuck again. Oh my goodness. Alright, this should be the easy part now. Alright, now that stupid animal is there. Stupid. And oh my goodness, literally just right there. Alright, yes, everything good to go. Oh, it was the key that I took. Alright, I think you're the last one. Whoops. I almost forgotten how to play it. Yep, don't hit that one. Yeah, trying to remember, was it just this? Oh, okay. Alright, just avoid the TNTs and the rocks. Got it. Right, there you go. Just 2 more. Oh, so that's how to make it hard. Just 1 more TNT. Yee! Okay, I do not know how I did not get blown up. Oh my, and that didn't hurt me either. Okay. I don't remember being that forgiving. Alright, dude. Come on, just blow up already. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Ah, that made it easy. Boom. This is so stupid.